Whoa, hello, my friend. Welcome to yet another episode of the Don't Be Serious podcast. As always, we are your hosts. My name is Amber, and then there's Romit. Yash is still not here. God damn him. If you watched last week's episode, you probably already know what is the reason that he didn't come. So, spoiler to last week's episode, which is about a casual chat on the movie Unhinged, which had Russell Crowe in it. Do check that episode out. But today we have a very simple topic that I think we can talk about. So I would request Romit to introduce the topic today.
Okay, so the topic we are talking about is quite interesting, and it's quite, I would say, quite popular with the viewers. I would say it will be quite popular with the viewers. It's famous movies or critically acclaimed movies we didn't like personally. Something which
Yes.
is against our pref- uh, preference, but the overall audience liked it and
Yeah.
you awarded it. So
Yeah.
what
You
do you
know,
think, Amber?
yeah.
I'm just coming up with some of the movies. You go
Yeah.
ahead with your choices.
So I'm going to start with the critically acclaimed movie I didn't like, which would be Silence of the Lambs.
Interesting.
You might be like, why did I not like Silence of the Lambs of all the thing? It's like, you might be wondering why I didn't like Silence of the Lambs. After all, it is like the highest point in Anthony Hopkins' career.
Mm.
Why did I not like a film like that? There's a one very simple reason behind that, to be honest. I felt like the character of Hannibal Lecter was like, you know, a raw cake. Raw cake in the sense that, Anthony Hopkins' character of Hannibal Lecter wasn't entirely like, cooked through. I felt like they could have done a lot more with the character of Hannibal Lecter, but they didn't do that. They made a quite basic character. At least that's what I feel. Anthony Hopkins' acting was remarkable, to be honest, and so was everybody else's acting. The mystery was interesting, but yeah, I felt like Anthony Hopkins' character could have been like a lot more developed, and also the what was the villain called? Buffalo Bill.
Hmm.
Yeah, Buffalo
Yes.
Bill's yeah Buffalo Bill's character was pretty like messed up, but I didn't like it at that point in time. This was like in the first year of college. Maybe if I watch it now, I'll be like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!" But I don't know. As of now, I don't really like that film that much. Partly because of how little they had done with Anthony Hopkins' character. You know what they could have done? They could have compelled, the FBI agent into murdering someone. He could have tempted her. He could have, but he chose not to. Instead, what happened in the end? He escaped. So, yeah, in that respect, I didn't really like Hannibal Lecter's character too much. And if I had to talk about a popular movie I didn't like, I would say that would be Inception.
Okay. Interesting.
Inception is critically acclaimed and also a very popular film.
Both.
Yeah, but there's a simple reason why I didn't like it that much because the thing with Christopher Nolan's films, and we have talked about this before on this podcast, is that
Hmm.
the way he presents his films is remarkable. What he presents, though, is unremarkable. What I basically mean by that is that, the story is awesome. No, sorry. What I mean by that is the presentation is awesome. You look at the visuals, they're incredible, the acting's incredible, everything's incredible. But I can't say the same about the story. It's relatively ordinary story. And the fact that they give you an open-ended ending, that also just like does not satisfy me at all. It does not satisfy me at all. There are two things that annoy me a lot with there are two things that annoy me a lot about an ending. Okay. The first one is when the ending is open ended and you can choose what ending you want. Okay. And the second one is when you leave room for a sequel. When you leave room for a sequel, to be honest, it feels like you're just like milking the franchise dry. Well, not the
Mm,
franchise, but milking the movie title dry. Because this, case in point, X-Men, they milked it dry. Marvel's Avengers, they milked the thing dry. And
mm,
ooh, yeah, entire like Justice League, they milked that thing dry as well. So yeah, I'm thoroughly disappointed with movies that leave room for sequel. You do
mm.
leave room for a sequel, man. You can. There's nobody stopping you. But when you start milking it dry now, that's what annoys me a lot. 34 films. That's how many there are in Marvel's Avengers franchise, right?
Yeah, yeah, and counting because this year they are adding a lot
Yeah,
on their Disney Plus platform. So you can say
yeah,
they will add 5 6 more movies because Loki is having his own movie. Even that Black Widow is having his own movie. So secondary Marvel characters, which are technically second hero to all the main heroes like Captain
yeah,
America and Iron Man, are
yeah,
having their own movies now. So I would say, yeah, they are trying to make profits as much as they can.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
but
like,
they do have their story. They do have the comic stories, and they are going to make these movies because it's simply because it is profitable. And some of them usually are very good, but some of them are usually are not good.
yeah, to be very honest, I am really tired of watching superhero movies and all that. They're just like so generic, so generic. You want to watch something interesting? Go and read a manga from Japan. That's a lot more interesting than an average comic from Marvel or DC. To be very honest,
You just started a social media war by saying that.
I did, I did, and I don't care about it. People will die for it, and I don't really think it matters. To be honest, have you read that comic yet, Naruto? Or
Naruto is quite famous, no?
yeah, Naruto is. I have seen like, okay, I didn't watch the first season of Naruto, but I watched Naruto Shippuden, and I was like, dude, this is amazing. This is amazing. And then there was also Bleach. Bleach was also pretty good, although there was an excessive use of Deus Ex Machina. But yeah, it was also pretty good. Or if you want something incredibly remarkable, you can check out Tokyo Ghoul. That is like,
Mm.
yeah, it'll blow your brains out. That. But yeah, you guys should check out Tokyo Ghoul. Pretty unique. Pretty unique. Or you can also check out this comic called Erased. Erased is like damn good. It's like hell of a
Okay.
lot better than a lot of animation films you will watch. And you can also try that movie I've heard of called Your Name. That's a classic now. Your Name is pretty classic at this point in time. But anyways, I think I've rambled on long enough. I'm going to go on mute and ask Romit to share his ramblings.
So the first movie, which is quite critically acclaimed, and I didn't like, is Moonlight. Some people might kill me for that. Some people might burn me for that. Some people might love me for that because, to be honest, I didn't enjoy that film. In if you see, that film wasn't made for enjoyment, and I personally, it's a personal choice. It's not a bad film, not at all. But I didn't enjoy that film, and I believe that that film did had some unique traits, but it was lacking some. I would say some punch in it. It had quite an open sides and open. It left a lot of questions unanswered, I would say, and I believe that that kind of films don't actually excite me. That's a personal choice, and it might deserve a award or not. That is not up to me. But I personally, if I had been the director, or if I had been personally chosen to judge that film, I wouldn't have given the Oscar, I would say. And even though it is critically uplift, I didn't enjoy it. So I would say in terms of enjoyment, I didn't enjoy it. If in terms of acting, it was good. Yeah, no doubt. The actors were good. The shots were quite unique. Overall, I didn't enjoy it. I don't want to comment more than that because people might attack me for that. Okay. Now the second film I'm going to talk about, which I didn't enjoy it at all, and it is quite a famous Marvel movie, and that's Captain Marvel. And it was such a disappointment. What can I say? Because everyone said that, told us before when Captain Marvel arrived, told us that Captain Marvel is the most strongest Avenger. She is the strongest of the all. She's the most powerful of all, more powerful than Iron Man, Captain America, and all the famous Avengers and Marvel characters. So after when it came, it was such a disappointment. First of all, the actress, I don't remember her name. Also, I didn't like her. She was lacking quite a bit of character for becoming a superhero kind of character. And secondly, the Captain Marvel movie itself was quite basic. It was quite it had quite a low performance compared to the other Marvel standard movies. And thirdly, the most important is that it was quite a, I would say, anticlimax film, because we thought that Captain Marvel will be the most powerful Avenger. It was such a hype. After when she came, the character arrived. She was still not. She was overshadowed by the other Marvel characters. So her power was useless. I don't know if the scriptwriters deliberately did that to show Iron Man and Captain America the main leader. But as per comics, if I'm not wrong, Captain Marvel is the strongest of all, but there was no sign that she was the strongest of all. So that was such a disappointment for me, that Captain Marvel movie. So these two movies were quite something which I didn't like, and I wouldn't watch it second time, even though those are not bad films. But personally, my personal choices, if I had to take it, I didn't like it. Simple. What do you think, Amber?
Okay, to be very honest, I haven't seen that film either because the last film I saw that was from the Marvel series was Iron Man 3.
Quite a old film now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, okay, Iron Man 3 is fine, but I didn't see any movie after that. I was like, no, this is going to get very generic and very boring very
Are you
fast.
do you follow DC, if not Marvel?
To be honest, I haven't seen very many DC films either. Like the most recent DC film I saw was Joker.
Okay.
And the movie I saw right before that, the DC movie I saw right before that
Mm-hmm.
was, and I went to theater to watch that thing, and I still regret it. Batman vs Superman: Dawn of
Oh my
Justice.
god, that was such a anticlimax film. I would say that that was the
Yeah,
most hype film of the year and the most disappointment film of the year at the same time.
yeah. Oh my god, that was like hot
The
garbage.
VFX was so shitty in the end. Man, I mean, it was so bad that even South Indian movies would have been laughing at it. So what was that?
Yeah,
VFX was so poor in the end. Man of Steel was much more better than this film, Superman versus Batman.
Batman vs Superman. But
And
the simple
compared to Dark Knight, it was no comments.
atrocious.
Uh-huh.
The Dark Knight is like the pinnacle of Batman movies,
Pinnacle,
man.
yeah, pinnacle
Pinnacle
of
of DC
superhero
movies.
movies. Forget
Pinnacle of,
Batman.
yeah, pinnacle of superhero movies.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight was like the highest point of DC movies. Simply because,
Yeah.
yeah, what the hell have they done, man? What the hell?
They're just shit. I have heard that the uncut version is good. The recent uncut is 4 hours. It is 4 hours long. I've heard it's good.
I,
They are
I,
saying.
I think that's the Justice League Snyder cut.
Yeah. Just Snyder cut. 4 hours. It's 4 hours long, and it's good. They are saying, but I still don't trust it because.
Yeah,
Chalo, I will still give it a try. 4 hours is too long, but still,
yeah.
I will give it a try.
Do you know what the worst part is? I went with my two best friends from school, and they were both like, "Bro, that movie was so awesome." It was like,
Batman versus Superman.
yeah, they were both like fanboying about that movie. I was like, bro, this is an atrocious movie. And
And
do
the
you know
villains
what?
were so shitty.
And
They
do you
weren't
know
even
what the
villains.
worst? And do you know what the worst part is? One of them actually considers Avengers Endgame to be movie of the century.
Not century movie of the century. I do enjoy Avengers Endgame, but it's not even critically. You can't critically acclaim Avengers Endgame. It's a
Yeah.
it might it's like a 4K porn for a
Kid.
you can say it's a 4K porn for a superhero fan.
Yeah.
It's
But
like that.
yeah.
But
And then
it is not critically
yeah.
acclaimed.
So yeah, I don't trust that guy at all. And he also, then I went to his house and I saw that he had also watched Get Out, and I was like, bro, now are you going to call Avengers Endgame to be movie of the century? Are you now going to do that against a movie like Get Out, which is a literally a masterpiece
See,
compared to Endgame?
but you have to remember that we are film students and we have a different perspective than the average movie going guy.
Yeah,
The
true.
average movie going guy only wants, movies which have action, which have, it's there are two kind of people. One is some movies which are critically very mature and very different, and that is why they are not successful commercial. And the
Yeah.
second type of person is, for example, why is Dabang 3 famous in India? Even though it is shit as per critically, if you critically judge it, it is the shittest movie ever made, but still it has done well. So similar for America, for the Western audience, Avenger Endgame is equal to Dabang 3. It is technically quite enjoyable, quite fun. It is adrenal rush film. But critically, if you see, there are a lot of loopholes. It's not a critically. It is not made for that. So the audience for that is different. So I balance myself. If I watch a superhero movie, I just stop my critical machine, critically filmmaker part of my brain, and just switch on my enjoy part of the brain. That the part which only enjoy entertainments, and just see like that. That is how I compare the two worlds of filmmaking.
Yeah, and on that note, I think we can end today's episode of the Don't Be Serious podcast. What are some popular movies you didn't like and some critically acclaimed movie you as a listener didn't like? Let us know. Oh, and before we end today's episode of the Don't Be Serious podcast, I would like to give a small shout out. We now have a YouTube channel called Don't Be Serious Archive, where we basically post all the old episodes of the Don't Be Serious podcast. And we also sometimes stream on Twitch. You can check out. You'll have to look for Indus Monk on Twitch, because that's on my Twitch streaming channel, and I don't stream on Twitch normally. But whenever we do have an after chat, which is once in a while, we do stream on Indus Monk's Twitch channel. That's me. Indus Monk is me. So with that out of the way, I think we can wrap up today's episode, and I'll see you all next week.